Hello class. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the research project that we'll be working on this week. Just kind of a recap from last week. Last week when we met, we had looked at this comparative mythology pre-writing activity. And just as a reminder, what we were supposed to do in this pre-writing activity was define 3 different myth categories. On Canvas, there was a list of classical mythology, European mythology, African mythology, Oceanic mythology, Asian mythology, and the American mythology. And you guys were supposed to pick 2 categories. So just to kind of demonstrate what this might have looked like, everybody had done classical mythology, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do African mythology, and I'm going to do European mythology. And one of the things that we wanted to do, let me make my ink a little bit bigger there. Okay, one of the things that we'd want to do is we had wanted to get a couple of bingos going all the way across the steps of the hero's journey. So, for instance, if you were doing these 2 myths, we were supposed to look and try to find some quotes from the textbook assigned on different stories that may have attained a miraculous birth, for instance. So if we were to look on page, I believe it was 38 in the classical mythology, there was the story of Zeus. And in the story of Zeus, we were told that Rhea hid Zeus from Kronos. So in this box would have been a quote like Rhea hid Zeus. It'd be helpful if I could spell Zeus. Rhea hid Zeus from Kronos. Okay. And then, as I was looking for the miraculous birth and hiding of the child, I was to go to African mythology, and there was several different stories I could have looked at. I know one of those stories was about Ra and how he sneezed out. He sneezed Tefnut and spat out. I forget who he spat out, but he sneezed Tefnut and spat out the other god. And I also know in European mythology, for instance, that Arthur, being an illegitimate child, was concealed or hidden at birth. Right? So I have what I'm calling a bingo. I have 3 different stories that I found from 3 different sections. I've got a story from classical mythology, I've got a story from African mythology, and I have a story from European mythology. And we had wanted to find several different stories. So, for instance, I could have used, the story of Theseus. Even from the notes, could have been right here. I could have used, again, King Arthur pulling the sword from the stone. So I could have done Arthur with sword. Would have found one here from African mythology. So I'll just say story from book. Right? Any of the stories I recommended, the section of the story that would have fit childhood and divine signs, I'm just going to put right here. And then, again, I could have done that on any of these, right? I could have done that on any of these. And we wanted to get 3 different sections of the hero's journey. It doesn't matter which out of the 8 steps, you needed 3 of them. So what we're going to work on this week is actually getting this formulated for our research project. So here's what we're going to be doing. We are going to be arguing that the hero's journey connects all mythology across time and space. So in my analogy, we're going to be looking at classical mythology and African and European. Now, for you on your sheet, go ahead and in this spot here and this spot here, let's write a note. Put your myth categories. Put your myth categories. So we're going to get what's called a major claim. So the major claim is kind of our argument for the whole story. So, and I'm actually going to give this to you guys. We're going to be arguing that the hero's journey connects, and we're going to connect these three myths. So classical, African, and European. The hero's journey connects myths. How? Well, it connects these myths because the myths have similar themes, ideas, and plots. Okay, cool. So this right here, we're going to say that this is my major argument. So this is my major argument. So now what I need to do is I need to prove that the hero's journey actually connects classical mythology, African mythology, and European mythology. Now, the reason I know it connects these is because I have done research, and I know that the hero's journey, for instance, this miraculous birth and hiding of the child, I know that it connects classical myths, African myths, and European myths because all three of these stories, here through here, all three of these stories contain a miraculous birth or hiding of the child. So now I need to start fleshing it out. On a side note, for you guys, go ahead. We're going to ignore these for right now. So let's go ahead and scroll down to actually organizing the research paper. So right here where it says first chosen step, what I'm going to put is my first chosen step. Now, if you did childhood and divine signs or preparation and refusal, trials and quests, whatever step of the hero's journey here that you chose, you're going to put the first step right here. So in my case, I'm going to do the birth and hiding step. Okay, so minor claim. This is asking, what's my argument? Well, this argument here needs to tie in with this argument here. But if we think about this argument, like this is my big picture, I need to go down to a small picture. So this is going to be a small picture. Okay, so I'm arguing that the entire hero's journey connects mythology. Now, I'm going to focus that, and I'm going to say the birth and hiding step of the hero's journey. Right? This is very specific. rather than broad. The birth and hiding step of the hero's journey. Connects and then I'm going to need my 3 myths. So right here, boom, let's say put 3 myth steps. Oh, actually, let's actually put the 3 cultures. So let's actually put the 3 cultures. So let's put 3 cultures. So in my case, that's going to be classical, European, and African. Okay. So I'm arguing rather than the entire hero's journey, I'm really focusing on the birth and hiding step of the hero's journey. Okay. So that's going to be my minor claim. Now, I have helped you guys by giving you a topic sentence. Let me switch over to a little orange here. Fantastic. Okay. So the birth and hiding, and you guys would obviously want to write this out fully, but the birth and hiding step of the hero's journey helps connect classical myth. This is just kind of restating it a little bit more formally. European, and again, where it says first mythology, second mythology, you're putting yours in. Again, I'm doing 3 just as an illustration for you guys. And African mythology because, well, this is an important word. Why, how does the birth and hiding of the child step of the hero's journey connect these 3 different myths? How does this tie all 3 of these in together? Well, it does this because all of these stories have a special birth or the children are hidden. Okay, now I need to get into some evidence. So for my evidence, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to scroll up to my quote that Ray hid Zeus from Kronos. And I'm going to write in my evidence that Zeus was hidden from Kronos. And this is a quote on page 38. So Zeus was hidden from Kronos. Now I need to explain how that fits in the miraculous birth and hiding of the child. Well, it's very clearly the hiding of the child, right? Zeus was hidden from Kronos. The fact that fits in the hero's journey because of the, I'm going to say, of the hiding. Cool. Now, if Zeus was not hidden, he would have never become the hero he was meant to be. Great. Now, I need to do this again with Tefnut. So I'm going to go down. That was my classical mythology. So I'm going to go down. This would be African, right? And I need to have my quote from Africa story with explaining here and here. So for instance, if Ra sneezed out Tefnut and spat out the other god, that quote is going to be right here. And I could say something like, this story fits in the miraculous birth because normal people are not sneezed or spat into existence. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do European. And I'm going to have my quote from Europe here with two more pieces of reasoning in here. And then I'm going to finish this out. Use a transition phrase. So again, something like maybe it is clear the hero journey connects what? Classical, African, and European myths because, and I'm going to reference because, take this right here. Let me change that color ink so it stands out. So take this right here and put it right here. So that is one explanation of 1, 2, 3 myths. Now I need to do that again with Theseus, a story from a book, and I could use King Arthur. And that is going to go another claim with Theseus here, story from a book here, Arthur here. Repeat with reasoning, topic sentence, and a last time with another story. Whatever you had in those boxes, right? Explain. Do that again and again. And that will be almost all of our research paper. So this should probably take you maybe 2 to 3 days. If you have your myths done in this section, this will be a very easy assignment to do. If you don't have those myths done, this will be a very challenging assignment to do. We're going to turn this into our research paper. So again, this packet that we see here, this is kind of a frame. It's an outline, right? Here would be like an introduction paragraph right here. And then I've got a second paragraph here. I've got maybe a third, fourth, and fifth paragraph. A sixth paragraph, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got 11 paragraphs plus a conclusion, which is easy. We're just going to restate the intro. Okay. So once you get this outline finished, there'll be a section on Canvas that says research paper. It'll be a Word document. simply use your notes here, the outline that you've done, and you'll piece it all together and submit that. If you feel like you can write that paper without doing this outline, that is totally fine. I have a handful of students that are probably up for that challenge. Go ahead and just write the paper. Don't worry about doing this sheet as kind of an outlined way to keep you organized. However, whatever grade you get on the paper will be the grade that I do for the assignments here. Okay, so if you get a C on the essay, that means all of these homework assignments you'll also get a C on. Conversely, if you do these homework assignments and you get an A on every single assignment, and you maybe bomb the essay and you get a C, you'll at least have those A's to kind of balance out the C. So I'll leave that up to you. The goal will be to get this done in its entirety by Friday. So again, here would kind of be a schedule that I would look at. If you have day 1 through 2, let's say work on outline. And let's have day 3 and 4. Let's do type paper. Day 5, do edits and submit. That would kind of be what I would have. As always, if you have any questions, you are free to reach out. We can schedule a Zoom during the week, can answer on email, make a phone call. That's all I have for you guys today. Have a great day.